Then I bring them back inside and I say, okay, so now that you've been doing this, how do you feel? And they say, Doc, I really feel much better. Now I say, now you're going to learn to skip meals. So step number 2 is skip meals. Wake up in the morning, I'm not hungry for breakfast. Skip it. Come around to lunch, have your dinner. Next day, have breakfast, but skip your lunch. The next day, skip your dinner. So learn to just skip meals. And look, you felt fine. Nothing bad happened. You were perhaps a little hungry. You got over it by drinking a glass of water. Drink lots of water during the daytime. So I do that for another 2 weeks or so. See, I'm doing it gradually, just like your athlete. You can't go do your 5K right now. You first need to build into it. So for a couple of weeks, I make them just skip meals randomly. Then I sit down with them and say, now, this week, 5 days a week, I want you to have only 2 meals. And these 2 meals are going to be within 6 hours of each other. So that you're going to have 18 hours that you're not going to eat at all and only drink water. No calories in those 18 hours whatsoever. You can have water, black tea, black coffee, but no calories whatsoever. And they say, oh gosh, that's great. And they do that for about 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, Monday to Friday, 2 meals within a 6-hour window period. So they're 18 hours, they are fasting. They do that for 2 weeks. Weekends, I let them have fun because they're with their families. So I say you can have breakfast, you can have lunch, dinner, but no snacks in between. So most you're going to have on weekends is 3 meals on the weekends. Then they do that for another 2 weeks. Then I say, okay, now is when you're really going to start your fasting. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I want you to skip that second meal also. Now you're only going to eat 1 meal on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's it. Rest of the days, during the week, you're going to have your 2 meals. Weekends, you can still have your 3 meals. So I gradually get them into that. And most of the time, patients are able to do it this way. When I try to make them go to once a day eating or time-restricted feeding within a 6-hour window from the get-go, my failure rate is much higher. So I make them do it gradually. Then they self-empower themselves, and then eventually I come to a 3-day water fast, which we can talk about. The biochemistry of that.
I mean, I love that. You know, I love chatting to fellow clinicians. I love chatting to researchers as well, I must be honest. But clinicians like yourself, you know, you've got the real life experience, not just what does the laboratory study say, what happens in the lab. No, you're dealing with real patients who are probably quite scared. And you know, that sort of protocol you just took us through, just to make it really clear for people, you know, what types of patients are you recommending this in? You're a cardiologist, of course, you know, you practice in America. I don't know the exact differences on who gets referred to a cardiologist in America compared to here in the UK. So my guess would be that people are, you know, sick on some level. You know, they've either got angina already, maybe they've already got ischemic heart disease, maybe they have already had a heart attack. You know, you're obviously seeing those kinds of patients, but then we could take it one step further, which is that we know in America, there was a recent study, wasn't there? Well, not that recent, a few years ago now, that showing that maybe over 80% of Americans are not in good metabolic health, which is really quite incredible. So I'm imagining pretty much all of your patients who come to see a cardiologist are already metabolically unhealthy, are already having a degree of insulin resistance, and therefore problems with their health and well-being. So, you know, maybe help us through that a little bit, because what I want to be really clear on, someone who feels that they're in good health, they're of a decent weight, they don't have any health problems, is that the approach that they should be doing as well? Or are you specifically talking about patients who are already a little bit sick?
Why is the shot of olive